Well, today's weather is perfect for hitting the water. Today is the Big Catch Fishing Derby in Maumelle. Meteorologist Tracy Beene has all the details in today's Outdoor Report.
Hey there, welcome to the Outdoor Report. I am Tracy Beene, and now, of course, I'm not Hayden Balgavy, so I'm standing in. I'm here with Arkansas Game and Fish Trey Reid, and so he's going to be a little patient with me. I'm going to kind of work my way through this, and I've watched, and so I think I'm ready.
You got it.
All right, we're good.
And our first topic you're somewhat familiar with.
That's right. So I was like, what are we going to talk about today? And he said, let's talk about that big catch. Did I say it right?
The big catch?
The big catch, that's right. So it's actually out in Maumelle at Lake Valencia. I grew up in Maumelle, which I'm so proud of that. And I know that Lake Valencia is just a really beautiful lake.
Tell me all about it. It's a great resource. The Big Catch is cranking up here this morning at 8 o'clock. It's a fishing derby, but Tracy, it's a lot more than that. The Big Catch started out several years ago as a springtime event, and it got so big they decided to do another one in the fall, and now we're doing 2 a year. I say we, it's actually put on by the Community First Alliance, a nonprofit here in Little Rock, and supported by the Arkansas Game and Fish. You know, our family and community fishing program works all across the state to get people, especially in urban areas, easy access to fishing, stocking catfish and that sort of thing. And so this event has just exploded, and we've got, like, I think last year had 1,700 people show up for the fall version, like what we're having going on today at Lake Valencia. So yeah, they really ask that you register for the event at I believe it's c1a.life. That's a Community First Alliance's website. And so, but I think if you show up with your fishing pole, they're not going to turn you away, you know. But lots of cool stuff going on, like demonstrations on how to clean and cook fish, health screenings. You're going to have music, prizes. It's just really like a big fun day at the lake and centered around fishing. All
right, and does it cost anything, or are they just registering so they know how many people are there?
100% free, exactly.
That's
Tracy.
even better.
Yeah.
So, and this is open for all ages?
All ages. If you're 16 or over, you do need a fishing license, you know, and there are limits on how many you can keep. And but look, hey, if you can't make it out to the Big Catch today, the good news is that Family and Community Fishing Program has been stocking lakes all over the state. So we stock catfish in the spring and fall, and then move into trout in November when the water temperatures cool off. So if you can't make it to the Big Catch today, Boyle Park, for instance, in Little Rock, Western Hills Park, the lake there has been stocked with catfish. A couple of lakes in Hot Springs, Energy Park and Family Park, and in Conway as well. So you can go to agfc.com/FCFP. If you've never fished a day in your life, you get a fishing pole, check out the website, find one of those lakes, and you'll get out there and have a good time. We're bringing the fish to you.
Excellent. Well, and do you have something as well, because I'm thinking about all the different things if I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I want to try this, but even like what bait might work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have information on that as well?
You know, we do on our website, as well as, you know, our nature centers are a wonderful resource for that. We do programming all the time. I mean, just drop in and talk to somebody, but we do special programming like catfishing 101 or crappie fishing 101 or trout fishing 101. You know, we got a bunch of some news about trout fishing in the state coming up too. We've got some public meetings scheduled around the state starting Tuesday, 7 of them. Every, I think it's 5 years, we look at our management plans for various species, People's opinions and attitudes and values about what they want in a fishery changes over time. And so we go back and look at these various management plans from time to time. So what we've done is bring together these focus groups, people that may be just an angler that, you know, communicates with us often and lets us know, like, you know, what he or she thinks about our regulations. And so we bring these people around the table and have these focus groups and kind of determine, you know, I'd like to see, you know, more of this, or I'd like to see maybe this regulation change, or why do you do this? And so it's an opportunity to talk about that. So we developed this plan, and now we're bringing it out to the public, and so this is an opportunity for the public to come out to these meetings and talk to our biologists about, you know, why we've made decisions in the past or why we may be proposing decisions in the future, and see, you know, just say, hey, I like this, or I don't, maybe in some cases. So
well, and the public actually gets a voice, so that's actually really important.
It's a wonderful opportunity to get engaged. So the meetings start next week. Go to agfc.com for the THV 11 viewing audience. We'll be having meetings over the next 10 days in Little Rock, Hot Springs, and Heber Springs, as well as some other locations around the state.
So you had mentioned to me right before we started talking about in southern Arkansas, you had an issue with the boat ramp area. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's something that's always important to talk about, Tracy, because one of the biggest issues that we face as fisheries managers is the introduction of invasive species. And A lot of the ones we're seeing now with, warmer winters and things like that are aquatic grasses that aren't supposed to be here, and then a lot of times they've been introduced through the aquarium trade or something like that. And unfortunately, they get in our waterways and they can be problematic. They can affect fish populations and as well as, really most importantly, angler access. Georgia Pacific Lake down in South Arkansas in Ashley County, we found water hyacinth, which is a beautiful ornamental flower. The problem is it floats and it can literally cover an entire body of water where you can't get a boat in there. And so we had to close the boat ramp down, while we could, treat that discovery of water hyacinth there. There's a canal leading out to the main body of the lake, and that's where the hyacinth was found. So we're hoping we can block that off, get it treated, get it open back up soon.
To find the source and then where it was growing.
And the main thing to take home message here is, if you're, boating or fishing in Arkansas, make sure your gear and equipment, your waders, if you're a trout fisherman, you clear of any vegetation, your boat motor, your boat trailer. We do have a regulation now. You have to drain all the water out of your live well and boat, pull the drain plug on it so you don't inadvertently move something next time you put your boat in a different lake. Ounce of prevention worth a pound of cure. And that's what, just be careful. Make sure you're not taking any hitchhikers along to the next body of water.
It's so easy to do, for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, well, the weather is going to be fantastic. I can actually say that. It's going to be fantastic for fishing.
Good deal.
So, head out to Maumelle or one of the other areas. Trey Reid, thank you so much. And thank you for being patient with me and leading me through this.
Thanks for standing in for Hayden.
Yeah, I think I learned a thing or two as well. And my daughter Addie loves fishing, so I think, we may head out to Maumelle.
Awesome.
All right, thanks so much for being here. Go to agf.com and you can find out just a little bit more as well.